I'm here now with Paolo Uggetti to talk some USC basketball. Thanks for joining me, Paolo.
Thanks for having me.
So, Paolo, the Trojans are 17-5 this season, 6-3 in conference, which is good for second place. How have they done it this season?
This season, I think, obviously their biggest improvement, you can see it in the record, 17-5, like you said, 6-3. That's twice as many wins as they had in conference last year. But what's really kind of vaulted there is their offense. And what's really improved their offense is the fact that they're relying and making the three-point shot a lot more. As you can see here, last year they were shooting 33% from the outside, and they were taking far less three-pointers. They were taking a lot of mid-range shots that were not going in, just really bad shots
Obviously,
in general.
Those are inefficient shots.
Exactly. Inefficient shots, they were not going in. It's poor offensive performance. But now as you see this year, they've really spread out their offense, and from behind the three-point line, they're shooting 39%, which is really good. It's a great number to have. And inside, they're shooting a lot better too. So what they're doing outside is helping what they're doing inside. If you watch their games, they really spread out the floor. They only catch and shoot three-point shots all the time, which is the way that, it's a more effective shot, whereas off the dribble, you'd be more likely to miss it. So the fact that they're shooting so well from the outside makes teams kind of have to spread out, and then it opens up the middle of the court where they can go in and score in the paint.
Well, obviously their offensive efficiency, as you can see, this is their points per 100 possessions. They're scoring 14 more points per 100 possessions, which obviously translates to great scoring. I think they're second in the conference in points.
Last season, 98.7 offensive efficiency. It was good for 204th place in the country. This year, they're in 32nd place. So
and they lead the conference in total threes made, so they're obviously dynamic from the outside, but they do have inside scorers as well, so they're really balancing their offense very well and shooting the more efficient shots. But which of the players specifically have really taken advantage this season?
Right. These three guys have two guys have really made the jump in the three-point shooting. As you see there, Jordan McLaughlin last season, he was not shooting well from behind the three-point line, and he had some injuries that really held him back as well. This season, he's shooting a remarkable 42% from the three-point line, which is really helping that offense kind of flow, because then Julian Jacobs, who's not pictured here, he can come in and handle the ball and dish out assists because he knows that Jordan's a scoring option. Elijah Stewart, a lot of people were really excited about him coming into the season because he had a good finish to last season. This season, he's continued. He's shooting 43% from three-point line, which is, like I said, above average and above what many expected from him. So that's another three-point shooter that USC has really been able to rely on. But most of all, I think the person who is the most outstanding player, I would say, or most surprising player so far is freshman Bennie Boatwright, because a lot of people expected him to be really good, but he's really taken on this offensive role that has helped USC become an entirely different team. Without him, I think they would not be where they are. And he's shooting 42.3% from the field and 35% from the three-point line. So the offense kind of goes through him sometimes.
Yeah, like you said, Bennie Boatwright, obviously dynamic freshman coming in right away, shooting 35.7% from three, which isn't quite as dynamic as Jordan McLaughlin or Elijah Stewart, but being able to do that from a big man position as a guy who stands 6'10", 6'11", really spaces out their offense, adds shooting, and it opens up more space in the lane for Julian Jacobs to drive and dish as he leads the conference in assists at almost 6 per game.
That's where you get all the dunks and alley-oops.
Absolutely. And so it's a big game on Thursday against UCLA at home in the Galen Center. What's your prediction?
Well, a couple weeks ago, they went into Pauley Pavilion and were able to get a huge win that kind of cemented their place. This is a legit team now. And now they'll have a chance to prove it again at home, where I think Galen Center is going to be as loud and as filled up as we've seen it in the past years or so. So I think USC is going to kind of drive that and get this win. I'm going to say 85-80 is going to be the final score.
It's definitely probably going to be highest scoring. USC obviously puts up a lot of points. UCLA has some great guards in their backcourt, Bryce Alford and Isaac Hamilton, two of the top 6 scorers in NCAA right now. And USC really has a chance to cement their place at the top of the conference with a win on Thursday.